Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmina from Jasmina Brozovik Astrology. For all of those who don't know me yet, I'm a Western practicing astrologer. I love collaborating with other astrologers. You can find many different astrologers on my channel when I, do interviews with them. Um, yes, I hope you're all doing fine. I'm here today to talk about the upcoming eclipse. It's going to be tomorrow. Before I start, I just want a little bit of announcement. I'm going to have a lecture next Sunday, February 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for ESAR, International Society for Astrological Research. And I'm going to talk about Aries point through the dial. So if you're interested to see something different, it's going to be in Croatian, but I'm going to have a translator there. So it's free for all ESAR members. So if you're a member, please join. Or you could become a member. There's so many different beautiful lectures there. There's a big library going back like 20 years with different astrologers. You can learn so much, and if you are interested in that sort of thing. Okay, so that's it. I also do a weekly weathers on Instagram with Jamaja, and then I transfer them to YouTube. So if you're interested to see every week, what's happening for every week ahead, you can tune in and watch those videos as well. Okay, now let's go to the reason why I'm here today. It's to talk about the upcoming eclipse. So we are entering the eclipse season. Eclipses are eclipse means that new moon, when the sun and the moon are in the same position, but the earth is in between, which means that we don't see the light, right? There's a shadow. So this new moon eclipse is happening in a sign of Aquarius. It's going to happen on 17th of February, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, at 28 degrees and 49 minutes of Aquarius, which is almost an erratic degree. You already, if you listen to my videos, you know that I talk about this erratic degree a lot. We had a lot of new moons lately at that last degree. That's the last degree of that sign. So we call it, it's very powerful and potent degree. It talks about finishing something, right? So it's like urgent to finish some kind of business, right? So we are finishing something in Aquarius in that sense. So we'll talk about what Aquarius means shortly and briefly so you understand. So this lunar eclipse is part of the bigger it's annual solar eclipse, and it's a new moon. So it's part of the lunar family. So things with the eclipses that can things that are happening now, it's like a seeding. It can unveil in the next 6 months until the next eclipse season, or you can look at the lunar family and bigger picture, it's for 27 months. So something that is happening now can have the resolution all the way up to May 2028. So the first quarter will be November this year, and full moon August next year. And then so that's something that you look in the 9 months increments, how this unfolds. uh, uh, so yeah, so uh, um, everybody who has any placements in their natal horoscope between 26 and 29 of fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, and 0 to 1 of cardinal, right? So yes, and no, mutable. Sorry, 0 1 mutable. See, I'm tired. It's still morning. I didn't have my coffee yet. 0 1 of mutables. Uh, they're going to be more affected by this eclipse. Yeah. So if you don't know your horoscope, if you want, if you don't know, just let me know, and I'll give me your data, and I can send you the chart. This is my balsamic moon lunar eclipse, see, solar eclipse mug for coffee. Okay, so Aquarius. What is Aquarius? Aquarius moon. What does that mean? Okay, so Aquarius, the sign of Aquarius, it's about friendships. It's about communities. I know you're talking cliches, but it is definitely Aquarius. Aquarians have um, the need to have to be part of community, be part of the group, be part of something bigger and larger than themselves. They're really environmental conscious, um, futuristic, innovative. But they're also, remember, they're an air sign, so they like to connect with others. Therefore, this intentions to have friendships and groups and being part of it. Um, but they're also fixed signs, so they can be very, uh, you know, they can be very determined. They have this. They can be powerful going through, right? They can also be intellectually dogmatic, very stubborn in arguments, and fighting for. But they're very good fighting for the cause, right? Fighting for what they believe in instead. So, yeah, they're very, they can persevere. They're also scientists, innovators, futuristic, looker, outside of the box thinkers, something different. Yeah, they can be very detached and impersonal on the surface, but you know this gives them a great ability to be objective and have a scientific approach to things, without being prejudiced. But they also, what they mostly need is freedom to experiment, freedom to look what's out there, right? To figure out new things, to evolve. They're all about evolution, and what else did I put down? Yeah, they don't like to be labeled. They don't like to be put in a box. They don't like to be categorized. They don't like to, have some kind of stigma around them. Yeah, so they 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 like to be on their own. They like uh, to have the freedom to express their true selves. That's very important for Aquarians. They're actually very private people, believe it or not. They don't like to talk about themselves. They rather talk about things in the world and how can they change the world, and but not about themselves, which is very interesting. They do have whatever they do. They like to have they have these dreams and vision that for the world that kind of motivates them to do the things right. So I'm talking about all of this that I'm saying now is very much connected with this eclipse that's coming tomorrow. How are we as humans now can use this in a general way? What else? So yeah, so they can be very uncomfortable with being on a stage, with being put on a spotlight. They like to rather work with the groups and teams. So that's another thing. Yeah, they can they can sometimes. Uh, feel that they're superior of others in the group because they're very intelligent, very smart. They have great ideas, so there's a sense. But that's just and then the people kind of showcase them. Oh, look, but they don't want to be in the spotlight. So there's like a paradox with Aquarians. Yes, yeah, so the famous thing about Aquarians, they say they don't like humans, but they are in love with humanity. So that's the famous quote for Aquarians, and I 100% agree. That's the core of Aquarian. But the moon, what is the moon is about our needs and our sense of security. But what does the moon in Aquarius need? So they need their friends. They usually feel that their friendships are like their family. So they're very sensitive to who they connect with, and it's very they consider their friends, their tribe, their family. It's very common with Aquarians to see that with Aquarians, the moon especially. They're very honest and fair, trustworthy. They will say it as it is in your face, so you can count on them. They will, they will say it. So that's very straightforward. Almost sometimes they have like this robotic feeling about them, Um, yeah, so they're very transparent, upfront people with the moon in Aquarius. So all this eclipse, we need to use that. We need to be more upfront, transparent. We need to say what we are, who we are, what we want. It's not time to kind of step back, in a sense. So that's something. And the causes, what we are fighting for, what are we kind of in line with? That's also important. What else? Oh, they're very good Aquarian moons, especially like first responders in emergencies, right? So when everybody's panicking, you can count on Aquarian to have cold, to have this objective approach, be cold-headed, and know what to do when everybody else is losing their mind. You can count on Aquarius to help you. So that's a great, great trait of Aquarian, especially the moon. Um, they want to make the world perfect. They want to improve the world in a sense. So they're always daydreaming. Their wishes are always connected. Whatever they do is, to help how to help the collective and the humans in general. What else did I put? Yeah. So they don't like getting too personal. They're not comfortable in having personal conversations, but they like to philosophize, just like similar to Sagittarius, but not quite. So, but let's say they they're very intellectual. So they like to have unpersonal conversations. Um, what else did I put? Because they're always labeled. They don't like to be labeled, but we always usually people label Aquarians as eccentric, as something different. So they kind of uh, they subtly, if you don't even paying attention, they want to stand out, but they don't want to be in the spotlight. There's that paradox with Aquarians, right? So in that sense, they can be like a drama queen. Like sometimes we wobble in the worst of the opposite sign. So Aquarians can just sometimes wobble in the worst of Leo, being the drama queen and showcasing themselves in the that's right, yeah. So they're very good, you know. Police officers, paramedics, as I mentioned, because they are very good at making decisions objectively and understanding what's happening. Anyway, that's something about Aquarius energy, and I'm mentioning this so you understand uh, what this eclipse is all about. And I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share the chart now, so we can all see. Uh, oh, wow! Oh my God! I didn't check this laptop screen. Okay, this one. Okay, there you go. Oh, it's working. Excellent. Okay, so this is the chart for the upcoming eclipse tomorrow. This disregard the house placements. I put the chart for the 0 degrees Aries, which is a world chart for the world. So you can look at this chart as how will this eclipse impact humans and humanity in general. If that makes sense to you. So as you can see, there's a lot of. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of uh, lots of things are happening in the Aquarian house, Pisces, and everything is kind of pushed together with humans finishing things up and starting new things. This is all here, right? Okay. The major thing, as you can see, the moon and the sun are together at 2849 Aquarius. The major thing that's happening is there's a square with Uranus here in Taurus, okay? Uranus is a modern ruler of Aquarius, and he's finally starting to move forward and finishing his Taurian story. He's going into Gemini end of April, and he's going to stay in Gemini for 7 years. So this square tells me squares are challenges. Squares are action-oriented aspects. So we are prone to do something to act on this. Okay, and since the Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, this is like a double whammy for this eclipse that we need to. There's a definite change coming, right? With Uranus, it's usually unpredictable, it's disruptive, something that is unexpected. So on a collective level, we definitely can feel that there's something coming that's going to change humanity. Our wishes and dreams, how humans are functioning in the world, it's definitely going to be affected, right? Because it's there's this, it's like a turning point, right? As I mentioned, eclipses are usually major endings and major beginnings. So this, for on a human level, we are starting a new era for sure. There's definitely, it's a new era because this is a north node eclipse. See, the north node is here near the moon, sun and moon. That means that we are looking forward. With this eclipse, we are going forward. We are not going back, which is very important. So I think it's a good sign. I think that we are like planting a seed for a better future, a future where we want to be free to be whoever we are. With Square and Uranus, we don't do authority anymore. So people having authority over us, and uh, I think the whole system is the way we govern the world, the way the world is set up now. I think the new world order is coming one way or another, especially with this. This tells me that we are not putting up with this kind of authority, disrespectful authority. It's a very revolutionary energy. So I do feel that in the next 6 months, especially, we're going to see more people on the streets protesting. Yeah, it's going to, it's going to be very. There's a major shift is happening. This is definitely a major shift, and we're going to see people, because in mundane astrology, um, moon represents the people, sun represents the people of authority, and you can see the you know people of authority will also push back. They will not take it easy, but it's kind of time to go. I forgot to mention the Sabian symbol for this relation is butterfly emerging from a caterpillar, which is another way of telling me that this is a new beginning, that we are starting something new, but something beautiful. We went to the metamorphosis, we went to the dark, we are actually emerging now as new humans. Yeah, so it's about shifting up our spiritual level. So we are leveling up on spiritual, because the North Node is still in Pisces. It's still about talking about spirituality, and it's so close to Venus. Look at that. And Venus is ruler of Uranus. So Venus is ruler of Uranus. So there's a connection there, because Uranus is creating this, pointing to a revolution. But we need to think about Venus in Pisces is about connecting with the collective. It's about more compassion, being more compassionate and kind within our relationship. So, all this change and revolution that is coming, we must not forget that we need to level up to be more kind, compassion, and think about collective. This is what is telling me. It's part of our path as humans here with the North Node. Uh, Traditional ruler of the eclipse is Saturn. And Saturn just entered Aries, as he's going to stay there for the next 2-3 years, right? And he's in the 0 degree Aries, which is a world point, a cardinal axis point. As I mentioned, I will talk more about it in my lecture for ESAR on Sunday. So check it out. I'll put a link below as well if you want to sign up. Which means that this is going to impact the world in a big way. Saturn in Aries is telling us that we are restructuring who we are as individuals, and what is our part as individuals in the collective, in a sense, in our community. So we all need to make to have our part. We all have to do our part very well, right? There's fear. Saturn is about fear. We were afraid to be step up and be brave and courageous, but we have to. It's also coming along with Neptune. So this eclipse is coming just a few days before Neptune and Saturn start a new 36-year cycle at 0 degree Aries, which is a big shift. It's like the most powerful point in the zodiac, right? It's where where the things are visible, that things are shown. Um, it's an effect in the whole world. So which means that Neptune in Aries is about being your own hero, being your own hero. So because Neptune always talks about imagination, and we look up for fantasy, and it's somewhere out there. But Aries is actually saying no. You are the one. You don't have to look up to anybody else. You are the one who have the power to make your dreams come true and to structure them. So I think this is, if we, this is an opportunity. This eclipse is very major because it's happening just around this time. it will unfold in the next few years. We won't see the effects this week, but whatever is happening around us, whatever, even our thoughts and our actions as individuals, what we do and how we have to kind of think about what is our place in the world and how can we help the world in general, just locally, right? It will have a global effect, 100%. Okay, major shifts are happening. Um, as you say, there's a when you look at the elemental and modal combination for this eclipse, it's about fixed air. It's very Aquarian. It's very future oriented. It's about uh, and Aries is about stepping to the unknown, somewhere where nobody has been before. So Aries is brave to go to the unknown realm, and Aquarius is about the future and innovation. So we need to definitely let go of the past and be brave enough to step up and 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 accept the change, because the change are coming. It's creating Uranus, so there's a huge change. So we cannot fight it. We have to embrace it. We want to change things. We want that there's that this is a great opportunity. So I think we're already there with everything that's happening in the world. I just want to say that it's Aquarius. We can be objective. This is, as I mentioned, all this talk about Aquarius before. It's impersonal. So that means that we as humans have opportunity to actually make a good decision to help humans in general, right? So it's a good thing. Oh, hi Argentum, how are you? Nice to see you. Oh, it's in your fourth house, and you mean Saturn Neptune is in fifth. Oh yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, I'll talk about each sign shortly. I think I'm already there. I just wanted to make sure that people understand the importance of this eclipse, and the effect, and you know um, of the change. And the changes we all. I was talking to many people over the weekend, and most of the people are they need to change. Like most of the people that I talked to, everybody was talking about the change. Like I need to change something. I can't do it anymore. Like this is like a sense. Like we can all feel it on an individual level that this is not sustainable anymore. I need to change something. I'm not happy. This is not the way it's supposed to be. So there is a sense on the individual level, and this eclipse will definitely bring that to us. Before I talk about each sign, I'm going to look at on the map. So let's see where this eclipse lands on the map, and those places will be more affected as well. So that's an interesting way of looking at it. If you are in those parts of the world, there it is. So the eclipse is happening here. Here it is. So it's going through. Look at through Paris. So there's going to be something in Europe. So I know that you see there's Brussels here. I know the European Union is also preparing. They want to have a strategize again. Russia now. I'm not a mundane astrologer per se, but I know they're definitely looking into reorganizing themselves and putting, and not counting on the U.S. anymore as a partner. So this is definitely look. It's definitely going through here. Brussels is so near. Brussels, which is the head of the European Union. Oh, so this is very interesting to see that something with the European Union. So if you live in France here, in Brussels, in Belgium, I think you're also going to be more affected. And then you can see through Africa here, Algeria, and like Nigeria. So there's lots of things happening there as well with human rights, with children, and bunch of stuff. So that's the one here. What else was I going to say? So yeah, so this is the MC. It's very visible part. The IC part is here. Also on the New Zealand here, just a little island here, but it's very close to New Zealand. So we might hear about New Zealand as well. So that's going to be interesting to see in the news here. From the something varied, it's going to be more connected to internal affairs. So something internally, because it's on the ICs that it's like a home, so something more internally. But this is going to be globally because everybody's going to be very visible in the MC. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that. So that's very interesting to see. If anything, we'll hear about that. Okay. Okay. Now I'll need to. Okay, I need to put the chart there. Okay, so you see it. Excellent. Okay. This is the eclipse. So let's see how will these revolutionary changes affect each and every one of you in a sense. Okay, I didn't have my first coffee yet, so bear with me. Okay, Aries, this is very interesting for you because you have Saturn now here. I'm going to put it just because I'm going to put maybe a lot of things today because I find it very interesting. And Mars. And I forgot to mention Mars and Vesta are together here also in Aquarius. Vesta is about our devotion and where our home and heart is. And interesting that she's also in Aquarius. So we also there's a sense that we are thinking about our tribe and where is our sanctuary. And Mars is in Aquarius, which is a fight. He's fighting for the underdogs. He's fighting for the equality. He's fighting for fairness. There's a lot of things that are actually helping us to move forward for the future in a better way. Um, okay, so okay, I don't want to confuse everybody. So let's talk about this is only the Aquarius. Oh, and we have Pluto there. I'm gonna put everything here. So there's a lot of things. Pluto is about, as we all know, about transformation. It's about rebirth. Something is dying, and something new is coming to life. A new world, as I mentioned. The new world order is coming one way or another. So for Aries, on individual level, what does this mean for you? I think this is a great opportunity for you to find your tribe in the best possible way. Oh, hi, Damien. Hi, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining. Um, so this is a great opportunity for you to find your own place. Remember, Uranus is here. There's you need to change something. You need to change who you align with. Who is there something that is not working out with existing friendships or groups or communities? Is there a way you can help locally and to have the impact on a greater good? It's about changing your wishes for the future, and stop making excuses in a sense, right? There's time that we have to stop making excuses. Oh, we cannot do it, or it's too hard. It's this is prompting us to actually we need to. Mars as your ruler is in Aquarius, so you do feel more inclined that you have the ability to make decisive, objective actions uh, within the community. How can you help environment? How can you help? Um, Even think about your own personal goals for the future. What are you devoted to? Vesta is here. Um, Thank you. I appreciate. Thank you, Damien. Yes. I'm happy to be here. I think we need to share. We need to share. This is part of the thing as well. Sharing with the community. How can you contribute to the community with your stuff? And this is my way of doing it as well. So I think Aries, that this is such a great time to maybe you feel that some of your friends have authority over you, or you're part of the groups and communities that do not align with your vision for the future, and you need to break it. So this is when square to Uranus is, and this is an eclipse. Imagine, so I say, as I mentioned, major beginnings, major endings, sudden changes. So this can be like very sudden, unpredictable. And it's a change. So I think we're all going to be affected in one way or another, wherever the eclipse is happening. With this tight square to Uranus, something will shift. So it's just our choice. Are we going to be part of it? Are we going to be part of this shift? Are we going to the one who initiates the change, or the change will come upon us? That's the question. Okay, so I pulled for Aries this mushroom. I'm using uh, the mushroom spirit oracle cards today because I feel they're very Uranian, very Aquarian. So I pulled Amanita, expanded awareness. Isn't it great? So you just need to expand your awareness, and how this is excellent for you because you can do it. in connections with others, talk to others, connect with others. This is also connecting, looking into the future, looking at what is your vision for the future, and learn something and change on your personal level. This, uh, be be consciously aware who you want to continue having in your life and who has the same kind of value system, because Uranus is here in the second house. It's about value system. Maybe there's something, if they're not aligned with that, you have the possibility, determination, and ability and feeling that you can do it. You're one of the signs that really, really can do this with the Mars being in Aquarius at the moment. So good luck, and make those changes. I like that. I think this is a great eclipse for Aries to change, their environment completely. Okay, Taurus. Let's see. This is, for all the fixed signs, this is going to be hugely important. I'm going to stop doing this. I'm not going to focus on Venus and the North Node here. And Taurus is a fixed sign. This is definitely going to be a shift, changing for your career and how people perceive you in the public. Okay, so this is an opportunity to change something radically, to reinvent yourself, to rebrand yourself, uh, to showcase yourself in a different light, because usually, you're the most stable, loyal sign. Everybody can count on you. They don't expect any change from you, so it's maybe time to shock somebody, especially in the workplace, in your career, it doesn't have to be just work, but something that is, we call this a career. It's your reputation. It's how people perceive you. So maybe some of the people, I think, are going to be shocked by some of the choices that you're going to make and change in life, because it's time that you do so. There's no more, stepping back. You cannot stay in your comfy zone on your sofa anymore. You need to make those changes, and uh, this is an opportunity. This will happen. So it's just, if because for you it can be very hard, because you don't like to change, you don't like to make changes. You need to initiate them more than anybody else. Everybody, general advice would be for all of us to initiate the change at this point in the area this eclipse is happening. Otherwise, the change will come to us, and we're gonna take it harder. So initiate the change. If you need to leave the job, if you're not happy with, especially since, remember I told you, it's a rebellious energy against authority. Who is authority? Is it your managers, your boss, somebody at work? Do you want to quit your job? Some of those things can happen, right? Venus is your ruler, is in a great position. It's in Pisces. She loves being in Pisces. So, and she's with a North Node. Okay, in the house of friends. So there's a support coming from friends and groups and communities to make these radical decisions. Have a chat with somebody you can trust. You can talk, and to help understand the situation you're in. This is energy of major breakthroughs and major breakups. So it will happen. I'm not saying this tomorrow, but as I said, in the next 6 months or in the next 27 months, depending on the situation. But the change will happen in the 2 year time, when you're going to look back in when you look back in 2028, about 2026, it will make more sense. But now, what I want to emphasize here is that, because Saturn is in Aries now, as a traditional ruler of this eclipse, we need to be brave enough to make those changes ourselves. Otherwise, it's going to be harder. Okay, so that's for Taurus. Um, as I said, find somebody you can talk to it, because but it's a career. It's definitely a career reputation. Even if you don't want to be shocked by getting fired. You want to be the one who resigned. That's the energy. And I pulled a violet coral for you. That's the mushroom violet coral, and it's all about community. See, and Venus is a community, so you need it. The strength and the solution to your situation is in the community. And what is Aquarius changing the community? You need to maybe change the environment, the community that you are uh, showcasing yourself in the world, right? Isn't that amazing? You can do it. I know it's going to be a little bit of pressure on you, Taurus, but initiate the change is going to be much easier. Okay, Geminis. This is interesting for Geminis because we already entered the because the ruler is Mercury of Geminis, and he Mercury already entered the pre retrograde shadow. So Mercury is in Pisces. First of all, Mercury is in Pisces. Gemini is very logical sign, very in their mind and their head, and Mercury in Pisces is dissolving logic in a way. It's about imagination. It's about being in somewhere, our mind being somewhere else, not not in our mind. So it's like having a different mindset completely, right? It's dissolving the logic. So Gemini is not comfortable with Mercury in Pisces, um, and Mercury is going retrograde just like 10 days after this eclipse. So in between the eclipses, because on the March 3rd we have a lunar eclipse. So Mercury is going retrograde in between the two eclipses, and he's already in the shadow. So in the shadow means that he already things that are happening now will come back during the retrograde phase, right? So this is going to be very personal in a sense for Gemini's. And it's going to happen, although the eclipse is happening in the ninth house of long distance travel and higher education and just philosophizing. And this is actually a great eclipse to reinvent what you want to learn in life. Like what are your philosophies and beliefs? Definitely a great opportunity. You need to change something radically. And Uranus is here in the 12th house, so it's psychological. You need to go deeper into your psychology to see what is hidden in the subconscious level. These are kind of both of spiritual houses. So, and I think that's why Mercury in Pisces can help you to get out of your mind, in a sense, and look for that change, for that transformation, for that things happening here on a psychological level. On a practical level, this can be, you know, uh, having that vision and a change how you want to explore the world, who you want to connect. This is about tribe. Because you're very local. You like a local pub. You like local friends. You're very local person, like to chit chat in the store. But this is about expanding that. It's about changing things and thinking about, oh, the whole world is my village, not just my village. So that's an opportunity to change something, to connect with other people who are different cultures, to learn something from them, who you want to connect, what do you want to radicalize. Mercury in Pisces will help you go deeper in your subconscious, in yourself, in your emotional world, more than in your logic. Um, with Uranus in the 12th house, it can be about mental health issues as well. Um, um, you know, as I said, this is not an easiest. What is we are questioning the authority here, and this is the authority. Who is your god authority? Kind of, who are you putting somebody on the pedestal? Do you have a guru? Like, what is happening in that sense? I think you need to go more inwards. With Uranus here, I would suggest exploring, maybe not through traditional therapy, but through some kind of shamanic word or something that you can go and explore. you know um, are you looking up? Are you looking up to somebody just because, or there's a reason for it? And how can you align this for the future, right? How can you align this for the future? This is on a personal level. So lots of uncertainty and changes will be in your career, how people perceive you, and what is happening in the world. This Mercury retrograde, it's going to be in the next month until the shadow is cleared at the beginning of April. The whole March, in the next month and a half, you will be kind of disoriented and confused in a sense. So instead of being in logic, go somewhere deeper. Okay, go somewhere deeper, and this eclipse can help you actually. Maybe you want to radicalize completely. How you travel and what you do in life, and anyway, we'll see how it goes. But I think there's a lot of inner world to be worked with here. Oh, I didn't pull the card for your Geminis. Yeah, I kind of like this. I mean, I kind of like it. Yeah, there's a lot of Neptune, and that's another story. Maybe I think I'm gonna do a video on Neptune Saturn conjunction for each sign. I pulled a bamboo mushroom for you. It says fertility, which means What are you planting now that can be fertile? Do you want to finish one more course? Do you want to have some kind of finally finish school that you always wanted? Fertile. What can so this tells me that whatever you see now it will be fertile and you will have good results from it, which means some kind of usually with Gemini's I would suggest this is about enrolling more courses or I know I will do it as a Gemini for sure. I already have plans. So getting your certificates or knowledge or so that's definitely part of it as well, right? So yeah, I'm a Gemini. I know I'm a Virgo rising, but I look at this as well. And I was just last weekend. I was at a consulting skills course that I finished, and I'm doing an ethical course with ISAR, trying to step up and my astrological practice and get more knowledge and how can I be a better consultant and everything. So this is part of that story. This is something that you can and finding your groups who you can study with or somebody can study groups or if you're in that stage of your life, that's another way reconnecting with that. Okay, cancers. For cancers as Leos, I always think how important it is any lunation, right? That's why we say the cancers are very moody because every 2.5 days the moon changes sign and that's how they change themselves, right? That's why how they appear different every 2.5 days, which is okay, right? But so all the lunations for them are more important than for other signs. But when you have eclipse, it's a major thing happening, right? Major change, and with Uranus, major unpredictable change. So um, for Cancerians, um, eighth house is it's not the best house, especially because you're not comfortable with Aquarian energy at all, right? You have nothing in common with Aquarius. They're so detached. You're very attached. There's your water, their air. You are cardinal. They're fixed. Like there's your yin, their yang. So there's like nothing in common with Aquarian. And this radical change is coming. It can be something to do with your partner's money. It can be something to do with your investments, your portfolio, your financial status. It could be something, it could be about inheritance as well. Because, it can be, I don't want to scare anybody, but it can be about different things here. Eighth house, it's a Scorpio house. It's a house of secrets, of private things that you don't want to discuss. So there might be some things coming up in your life that you usually keep very private that will that really need to change radically. Okay, is it your sex life? Is it your taxes? Is it something finances? So it's very those things that we usually don't talk in a store when we chit chat with somebody. Those are the opposite sides, very deep, very personal, very intimate things. There are many various scenarios here that can happen. I want to encourage everybody. Cancers is special. This is not an easy eclipse for them, not at all. Um, the changes also are coming from the friends. It can be betrayal. The eighth house is betrayal. Maybe you need to do some radical things as well. Um, who do you trust with your money? That's another thing. Maybe you need to do some radical change there, because it's about authority. Remember, so it's about banks, governments, institutions, insurances, all this. Your partner, their money, right? So it's about other people's joint. So it's not like you have independence or ability to decide for yourself. So I personally feel this is the hardest for the Cancerians. This is the hardest eclipse of all. That's just me. It's the most challenging one because this is the more intimate part that we heard that we feel things the most, that we don't want to share things the most. So it's very hard when some radical changes are there, and if we are not prepared and ready to make radical changes. This is radical change for Cancerians on an intimate, personal, deep level. And as I mentioned, for every sign, you need to initiate the change. Otherwise, the change will shock you and will not be good. Okay. So if you feel, and you are a feeling person, if you feel that you need to make some changes and get rebudgeting, refinancing, talk to your partner, talk to the banks, talk to the institutions, whatever. Is it about talk to your siblings about the inheritance? There's all these things that are coming up here for me, right? So um, it's not going to be comfortable, but it's necessary because you are, this whole eclipse is about um, getting power back to us from the false authority that we feel that people having over us. So having good control of these things that you feel that you might I'm losing control. Is it intimacy issues? Anyway, it's a very scorpionic house. So good luck, cancers. Let me pull a card for you. I do feel this is not an easy one for you. Some breakthroughs are with friendships and communities and groups, and people not aligning with that can also happen because yours is coming from the 11th house, and you are ruled by the moon, and you're not comfortable with moon in Aquarius because it's so detached. Oh my God, you can't believe this. Oyster mushroom, regeneration. Isn't this what I was talking about? This regeneration is such a great scorpionic word for the 8th house. Regeneration. That's what it is. I'm not going to even add anything. It's a great, great card for you. Okay, uh, Leos. Oops. So Leos, this is also very important for you. Not only that you're a fixed sign, as I said, for all the fixed signs, it's going to be hugely important, life changing, life changing. This is happening in your partner's house. It's about your partner, and this can be hard. And this is it's not, but it's gonna touch your partnerships. Hi, it's Menimira. I hope I pronounced it well. Thank you for being here. Welcome. I like to see new faces. I love it. Thank you so much. Uh, so this is going to be extremely hard for Leos. Because there's no control. Oh, you're Leo rising, that's why. Okay, there you go. So this is very important for you. First of all, it's a lunation. Sun is your ruler, so it's very important. So just like for cancers, every lunation that happens it's highly important for you. And eclipses are even more because they're bringing, as I mentioned, major endings and major beginnings. This could be a breakthrough or breakup, and it could be about your romantic partners, business. I would even say business partnerships or quitting your job, or so it's about getting. So instead of getting fired, you need to quit your. You need to be in charge of the change, and if you want to resign, this it will happen in the next 6 months. If you're planning to do so, or just telling to your boss, I'm not taking it anymore. If you feel that you are treated unfairly, remember Aquarius is about fairness, is about underdogs, is about equality. So if you feel that you're not treated equally or fair, it's going to be a huge, huge problem here, right? Oh, nice to meet you too. Oops. It's nice to meet you too. Um, this can bring, if you work with clients, this can bring, it's the opportunity for you to redesign, reinvent your relationships, to start over. Like this is a sense of, this way I see it. Let's start over in a completely different way. We need to level up. Is it a romance? Is it business? Is it clients? Because yours is coming from the 10th house, and yours is finishing up there because he's going to go move in Gemini very soon after this. So he's kind of cleaning up. It's now or never feeling. It's about your reputation, your career, and not taking any more, BS from anybody in a sense, right? You are stepping back into your own heart, who you are in your own being here. Uh, this is gonna be huge. This is gonna be huge. I think that maybe it's, on the other hand, you can unexpectedly meet somebody, or there's an unexpected person coming into your life that will completely change your life as well, right? It can be both ways. With Uranus, you never know. It can be, uh, make it or break it kind of a feeling, but it's coming. It's inevitable for you, Leos. Um, this is one of, because you're also, don't forget, because this is the first of the eclipses that are going to be in Leo and Aquarius. End of July, the lunar nodes are changing from Pisces, Virgo to Leo and Aquarius. And I'm going to also put in the description the video I did with Liz about that. It's very important for all of you Leos and Aquarius. You're going to have, in the next year and a half, all the eclipses there. So next year and a half, lots of major changes happening in your within you, right, and with your relationships and how you see each other, yourself within them. We have another eclipse on March 3rd happening in your first house. So I do feel that it's time that you reinvent yourself, especially how people see you, rebrand in your career, and who you partner with. Okay, who you partner. There's going to be a lot of action here. Mars is also in Aquarius for this eclipse, so there's a lot of things happening with the partner. It can be arguments with partners, and but it can also be constructive action. So always think about but major things are happening for you. See, indigo. So I pulled indigo milk cap, true colors. So you need to see, you need to showcase your true colors. But this is also very Aquarian. Aquarians always show their true colors, right? And maybe some other people will show their true colors, and you're going to be able to make better decisions when you know what you're dealing with. So I think it's going to come up to the surface. You're going to see people for who they are, and you're going to be, and that's, you're going to base decisions based on that, good or bad for you. Okay. Um, so if you're single, this can actually this can actually mean that you might meet somebody. It's going to be fated. It's going to be kind of meant to be. Um, I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm saying in the next 6 months or in the next 27 months, for something serious happening. Okay, so that's because we have eclipses in the next year and a half happening in here. So it can be happening. This is just one of the first one. The first one is very radical, very rebellious. We are rebelling. We're not taking the status quo anymore. This is the energy now, right? So, okay, if you say, I don't want to be single anymore. If you don't want to be single, let's see what I can do. And then you're going to make radical changes to change something, and to maybe go out more, to go social, to make or apps or dating apps or something. But you need to make an initiation. And I think Leo risings will have that in them. Okay, so good luck, Virgo risings. Okay, yeah, for Virgos, this is also kind of uncomfortable energy because they also have nothing in common with Aquarians. Excuse me, I'm catching a cold. Not good. Um, and because this is happening in the area of life where you need to make some major decisions about. First of all, it's about workplace. So your daily routines and workplace. So major things that happen with your peers, somebody you work with, somebody you interact every day. Um, Major endings and beginnings there. Maybe somebody will leave, or you will get new how do you call that, colleague at work. So that can be a thing. Sixth house is about our daily routines, which is usually a house of Virgo, which you are comfortable. You understand the routine. You understand that what habits are good or bad, because it's very radical. You also need to step up and make some radical decision about your health, your diet, your diet habits, your daily routines, your health habits, what is happening. Sometimes people have authority over us through, oh, buy this supplement, or you have to do this, take this. So maybe it's time to change something, and radically, and maybe stop using some products. uh, um, um, oh yeah, it's going to say there's so much children and grandchildren of Aquarius. there's so much individual. Yes, that's true. Yes, that's true. Um, so think about who has authority over your daily routine. Are you in charge? Did you have enough of something? Like, that's enough. I cannot do this anymore. I'm not going to serve these people anymore. They're not aligned. There's major things are happening here. It can be about health. It can be about your own health. So instead of something surprisingly happening to you, you need to kind of have control. So make sure that you are understanding your daily life. Is it aligned with what you need, what your body needs? It's also about your body. Moon is a body. So what is happening here, right? uh, I do feel that Uranus will bring some changes. um, it's about knowledge. The ninth house is about wisdom. It's about, it's a Jupiter house. It's about wisdom from experience and knowledge, and from your beliefs. Maybe you're doing something on daily level that you believe that it's correct, but maybe you need to shift that, right? So that's, it's being, um, it's making a huge change, a shift. Just even think about little things. A sixth house is about details. It's a Virgo house. Think about the face cream you're using, or the cosmetics, or is it aligned with that? Do maybe, I could go that far, that Aquarian energy is about animal rights as well. It's about all the rights. So are you using products that are not aligned with that, maybe with your philosophies, that you maybe, you have to maybe learn something new about that. So think about your health. You may need to do some radical decisions. You maybe start exercising, implementing, maybe changing your diet, implementing some supplements, or maybe or disregarding all of that. So it's about, ending and beginning. If you have pets, please take care of your pets. This is also a house of pets. Um, so I don't know. Think about all the daily things that you do and what needs to be changed drastically. I'm a Virgo rising, and I'm just thinking, what do I need to change drastically in my everyday life? What can I, yeah, it's interesting. Oops, let me see what happened here. Oh yeah, I pulled dead man's fingers mushroom. Look how this. It's a pretty terrible mushroom. It says timing. So you need to think about timing. That's a very good one for the sixth house. Understanding, is it having a good timing um, to take care, like taking the time to take care of yourselves and your health, and putting that as a maybe priority for this eclipse, and taking care of your health in the next year and a half, while we have eclipses, in the 12th and in the sixth house, and have it. So knowing the timing. So maybe this is the time for that. So focus on that. So that's what I'm trying to say. So maybe that's why I pulled the card timing, to take care of. Now it's the season for you to take care of yourself, and not to serve others, but to serve yourself. Think about it. It's a radical change for Virgos, not to serve other people. Okay, Libras. Okay, let's see what's happening with Libras. I'm putting out. I like this. Oh, Venus. Venus is here. I'm going to put the North Node as well. Okay, so Libras. Uh, you know, this is actually not bad. This is actually not bad. This eclipse. I know that we are talking about some radical things and major changes in your lives. So for Libras, this is actually a great opportunity if you're single, for dating, for meeting new people. Maybe you're going to meet somebody who is going to change your life completely. It's going to shock you. Maybe you're going to be shocked by the person you choose, or maybe you're going to be shocked by people you meet. But um, maybe you're going to be, maybe it's time, they're going to be, unexpected pregnancies can happen during this time. So if you do not wish to get pregnant, just have a note. Um, yeah, because Uranus is here, it's unexpected, something different. So this is happening for you in the house of children. Um, maybe there's going to be some also I'm very positive here because the fifth house is one of the best houses, and because eclipses are there, usually I tend to say it's on a positive, but you need to make radical changes, right? Maybe you're too focused on pleasing others that you forgot to have fun yourself, or maybe there is a tendency that you're always thinking about, oh, I want everybody to like me. Like there's lots of things that that you as a Libra might um, have thoughts. What do you want to radically change? Maybe you don't want anything to be changed. But as I mentioned, this eclipse is gonna prompt us to change something. Otherwise, the change is coming. So this can be regarding your children. If you have adult children, there's something happening in their lives. It can be about getting pregnant. It can be about start dating somebody casually, somebody new, somebody different, somebody that you didn't expected. It can be about all the creative projects that you have. It can be about having fun and going to some concert and or something. And think all positive for Libras, because Libras and Aquarius, they have like a good vibe in general. They're very social. They both like to connect with others. So there's always a good vibe between them. So this eclipse, is kind of on a positive note for you. Shocks and unexpected things can come from the eighth house. So that's another thing that uh, we can be positive, because this is a fifth house is also house of gamble and good luck. So maybe you unexpectedly gain some money from somebody. That can also be a thing. Your ruler is Venus, and uh, she is with the North Node. So she's in a good place in Pisces in the sixth house. So there is some support, maybe it's from coworkers coming. Oh, maybe you're gonna meet somebody. Maybe somebody comes to your work and there's like and then you meet them through work or through colleagues through work. Maybe you're gonna have like some kind of party, and then your colleagues from work introduce you to somebody new and exciting. So that's another thing, because there's North Node. There's some kind of fated event happening extra for you Libras here. I just feel I don't know. Yeah, I really like it. Kind of, it's connected. So you know, this eclipse for you Libras is in a positive way. I can't think. I know it's as I mentioned, it's going to be a lot of things changing. But think about how can you change your approach. Oops, something fell on the floor. Let me see which one. Okay, I guess this is the card for you that fell on the floor. Ooh, I love it. See how these cards know chaga mushroom. Like, see, she's stuck on the tree, on the birch tree. It says defense balance. Mm-hmm. And what is Libra? Libra is all about balance, right? So maybe it's also defense and balance. So there's you know, because Saturn and Neptune are now here. It's another story, but because they're here, there's a lot of things going on with your partners and just in general one-on-one relationships, right? There needs some challenge. So you might feel that you are putting your defense up in order to change some things, which is a good thing for you. Okay, usually I wouldn't recommend it, but for you it's a good thing. And finding that balance, I like it. It's not a bad eclipse for you. Other things are happening for you, but this eclipse per se, and the eclipses that are happening in the next year and a half, they're going to have a sweet tone to them in a way. So I expect good things for you, Libras. Yeah, especially Venus with North Node here. I like it. And yeah. Okay. Scorpios. I forgot to mention that for Virgos, they're going to have this Mercury. Anyway, never mind. Okay. So, Scorpios. Oh, I want to put Mars. Mars is your ruler, and he's here. And the modern ruler is Pluto, and he's also here. So they're both together. Um, so Scorpios, again, another fixed sign. As I mentioned, it's very, very uh, big changes are happening. This is definitely going to, you need to do some changes in your family. It could be your family, existing family, like your where you're living at the moment. It's about your home, house, property, and family members that you live with. But it can also be about your parents, your ancestry, and where you're coming from, and their relationships. And because this is a radical change, it's about authority. So maybe it's time to let go of some authority from your parents, I would suggest, or from somebody, grandparents, or somebody who's pushing authority on you, and it's time, it's enough. Uranus is here in the seventh house, bringing changes. So maybe your partner will will tell you, like, okay, it's your family or me kind of situation. Choose between me or your family. That's a very possible scenario here, right? Because we are talking about, Mars and Pluto are here together. So I feel it's a lot of intensity, a lot of power struggles, power dynamics, control issues, and you wanting to break free from that. Okay, so you want to finally be free from all the other people telling you what to do, how to behave, giving you, blackmailing you in a sense, right? It's going to be hard for you, for all the fixed signs, sudden changes. When Uranus hits fixed signs, it's hard. And Uranus was in Taurus for the last 7 years. All the fixed signs, one way or another, had a problem with the change, because they don't usually like the change. They like the things they are. They like to initiate change. So try to initiate. If you feel that something is fishy, um, you do the shock to the family, not vice versa. You need to be in control of this, because something will happen, and it can be just physically moving and having that freedom physically, or emotionally. And I think it's more emotionally for you, because you're very, intense and intimate, and you need those intimate bonds. And it could be a lot about breakthroughs and breakups. I know, people say, oh, Uranus is involved, seventh house is divorce and this. I actually met my husband when Uranus was in my seventh house. I met my husband and we got married during the Uranus in the seventh. So it was unexpected marriage, right? I didn't expect to get married again, so I did. So it can be in a positive way as well. So don't think it's about divorce. But because this both of your rulers are in Aquarius, which are, they want to fight, right? This eclipse is just illuminating that more, giving that more power. It's a very powerful eclipse for you. I think it's the for Scorpios, it's the most powerful eclipse. Very much, very much. It's gonna impact, yeah, your life. So my suggestion would be to initiate the change yourself. Whatever you want to change in your home is physical. This is actually a good way to renovate your home, but literally pulling the walls down and rebuilding it, or adding another additional room or something to do with, because then you can use this Pluto Mars in a positive way, if it's a renovation in question. Lion's mane, I put lion's mane. It says calm. So you need to stay calm whatever happens. That's what I read from this card. Whatever happens, you need to stay calm, because I think your buttons will get pushed, and lots of disruptions may happen. Yeah, it can be, it can be like a blast from the. I think it's time to, as I mentioned, create an energy. We require, to say it's enough. We don't want that anymore. So, um, yeah, good luck, Scorpios. I think this is very hard for you, I have to say. Sagittarius. Okay, let's see what's happening with you. There's Jupiter here. Oh, Sagittarius, you're going to be so happy when Jupiter goes into Leo. I think you are going to have the best year of your life after Jupiter goes into Leo. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be the Jupiter. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. Anyway, until then, Jupiter is coming into Leo end of June. So until then, you still have this Jupiter in Cancer. We like Jupiter in Cancer. You can still bring some good stuff here with money and inheritance, or some, grants or scholarship or something. But then let's focus on the eclipse. What is happening for you? Uh, you know what? When I feel this, I'm thinking, first thought was, do your siblings have authority over you? Sometimes, we have an older sibling, or or even a younger sibling, and you feel that they're bossing us around. So maybe that's time to say no more. Or even a neighbor who is making so much noise, and then you think, that's enough. You wanna change that as well. So those are my first two things that I come to my mind that you wanna you know say that's enough. Also because you love to expand your knowledge and travel and learn about life and world. Being stuck in this little environment is making you claustrophobic in a way. So are you feeling claustrophobic in the way that you uh, communicate, in the way that you live your everyday life, in a sense, in a Gemini way, the commuting, maybe going to work? Is that frustrating now? And is your commute too long, and then you want to change it? Uranus is coming from the sixth house, so there might be just finding a new job in a sense because of that, or finding that the communication needs to change. If somebody, sometimes you have people in our lives that we feel that their communication style is very authoritative over us, or um, um, what is that word? Not even, it can be judgmental, but I'm thinking when they speak from the higher, what is that called? Anyway, I can't think of the word now. But so maybe you just want to radically change the way you communicate with the world and what you want to say. It is about siblings. It's about major changes. Uranus is coming from the sixth house, so it is connected with your everyday life. So I feel that maybe you definitely need to change how you, maybe your car, maybe your bicycle, maybe your transportation, the way you go to work, or the way you do things at everyday level. Maybe there's some radical change in everyday life that will help you with this. I mean, it's also about selling and buying, and just moving around. It's about moving around. Maybe you're not happy the way you're moving around, but I think this is not a bad eclipse for you. I think you definitely can have some radical changes, with your cousins, extended family, siblings. There might be some issues. It can be good or bad. Something major may happen in their life. So this eclipse may not even affect you at all. Maybe your sibling is getting a child, or getting divorced, or getting a new job, but or something with your neighborhood. But think about, I talked about it, Aquarius energy and communities and groups and bigger picture. Gemini is also this is a Gemini house. That's what I'm saying. It's a very it's about connection and communicating with others, um, and getting information and data and understanding things. So maybe you want to do something radical within your local community. As I mentioned, we as everybody, we need to kind of find a way to do something in a local environment to change the world. So maybe you want to initiate something in your local environment that can have an impact on the world as well. You know, maybe you can get help from government or something, from the eighth house, from this. It's interesting. Anyway, we'll see how it goes for you. This is the mushroom I pulled for you, Sagittarius. It's called reishi, spirit medicine. So I guess this is like a good mushroom to have to experience. Um, and interesting. Uranus is in the sixth house, spirit medicine. You are a spiritual being, right? You are connected with this higher knowledge and philosophies, and um, maybe you want to initiate some radical changes within your environment, and organize some spiritual group or something that comes to mind, or something that you can explore and learn, and maybe something happening. So think about, maybe you want to be the initiator of a new community in a group within your local people, and that's how you can help the world. Hmm? Something that you stand for and believe. Maybe you want to help somebody, some underdogs. That's an interesting thought. Think about it. Okay, Capricorns. Let's see what is happening for you. A lot is happening for you. just because Saturn just went into Aries here, and it's meeting Neptune. So there you go. So there is a lot of things happening as your ruler. You're definitely shifting gears with Saturn in Aries. Every time Mars changes a sign, you're gonna definitely feel differently in the next 2 3 years. So Mars is now even here, so that's a lot of things happening here. Okay, what can I tell you? This is reinventing how you make money. You know, second house is not just our possessions, our money and possessions. It's about um, what are our talents and skills. How can we make that income? How we can make the income? Yeah. Okay. So maybe you need to do some radical changes. Maybe the way you're doing it, very traditional, conservative way. Maybe it's time to innovate something, to do some new futuristic things. You know what? With this world changing, with AI, with new technologies, now with all these things that are happening, the workforce is changing. The old jobs are not no longer there, and we are having new jobs. And it's going to be hard for a traditional Capricorn to accept, the fact that some old jobs are dying, and the way we do the hierarchy, the corporations, right? They're all dissolving in one way or another. So we're going to have different set of, as I said, we are seeing a new world. The corporations are going to be run differently. Governments are going to be run differently. It's going to be hard for Capricorns to accept all this, and letting go of some traditional things, not letting go of the good things, but things are just changing. Remember, back in the day, we had people working in telephone centrals, and connecting the lines. Oh, hello, hello. We had people, those women secretaries typing on typing machines. We don't have those jobs anymore because they are obsolete. So, and this is what is happening now. Lots of things are going to be just obsolete, and Capricorns are gonna have trouble with accepting, because you're gonna have to learn new skills and new talents. And this eclipse is telling me that there's gonna be some major changes in the way you make money. What will you need to learn? Um, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And it's going to be very active. Remember, Saturn is in Aries. It's going to be the next 3 years are action oriented years, and you will have to be able to act fast and to make decisions. Uranus is squaring from the fifth house, so this can also this could also be a situation for this eclipse that your children will ask some money from you, or you're going to spend a lot of money. Like, there's some things happening on fun, entertainment. I know it's very hard for Capricorns to spend money on that, but think about, maybe there's going to be some, spending too much money on dating, or having fun, or just giving money to your children. So that's a thing that can happen. So you need to kind of, as I mentioned, you need to initiate the change. So be ahead of everybody, and think, what can you do before this change come to you? How can you, think about the ways you can, new ways of making money. How can you help your kids without getting broke, or whatever the situation is? Okay. Saturn is also bringing some radical changes in your home environment, where you can reconstruct your home as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see that. This is about money, and making money. So in the new way. Okay, I pulled Scarlet Elf Cup Mushroom. It says healing. So interesting. Uh, Maybe you're gonna hurt, and you're gonna need to heal, because you need to change radically some things that you're not comfortable with. Okay, healing, that means also, you as a Capricorn, you can get melancholic and depressed. So you're gonna need to heal that in a way. So don't forget to with all this pursuit and changes happening in a material world, don't forget your other part of yourselves. Okay. Okay, and Aquarius, this is it. This is you. It's starting. All I'm gonna say, all I'm gonna say that it's starting. In the next year and a half, as I mentioned, lunar nodes are changing to Leo Aquarius, and we're going to have the eclipses happening in your first and seventh house of. It's time for you to definitely reinvent. It's new you is being born. There's lots of things happening as well with Aquarius risings are really going through a lot of things. Look at that. There's like a lot of things happening here, and this is the eclipse, right? And there's some changes also coming from home. Um, yeah, the what can I tell you? Okay, you know what? Sometimes I think it's a good thing for your Aquarius. I think this is. I know it's gonna be major, a change of who you are. If you want to go through some medical procedures, even radical, and you're thinking about it, it's good. If you want to physically change something on your body, it's good. If you want to start working out or working on your body, so I'm thinking about your appearance. If you want to change something on your appearance, Saturn is now in Aries. If you want to change something on your appearance, if you want to change the way people, the way you approach life. So I think radical change is in the way that you approach life in everyday situations. Okay, it's not how people see you. It's not about your reputation. It's not about it's about how you approach life, and some radical changes needs to be done. So think about who has authority over you in that sense. Are you aligned with somebody else's beliefs or somebody else's whatever, or you're not going to put up with people putting you down one way or another. I think you're going to fight back. It's a time to fight back. Also, there's some changes are coming from your family as well. So maybe there is a disconnection between your family and you, and how it's time to break free from family, especially from family and family obligations, from family authority. And it could be whatever. It could be just a elderly parent you need to take care of. It can be children. It can be grandparents. It can be whatever. It can be just obligations of being at home and taking care of your physical home. All of that. You need to radically change some things. So you think it's time to break free from obligations, from many obligations that you have. You're going through huge changes in the next year and a half, and that's why I say it's very important that you have that you initiate those changes. Otherwise, they're going to come to you, and you're not going to be prepared. And this is just the first one of them. You're seeding a new life. This is new you coming up. It's about approaching how you approach life. You need to change that because this way is not longer sustainable. Okay, that's what I feel. Mhm. Fairy in cap. It says subtlety. So maybe you need to learn how to do it subtle, because everybody expects some radical, rebellious things, but maybe you do the change subtle, this innovation, reinventing yourself in a subtle way, and people won't even notice what hit them at the end. It's a secret weapon. Aquarius, good luck. It is your time. It is your time. And I always think about Aquarius as geniuses, as people who think ahead, to think forward, to think futuristic, to think. So if anybody can be the change bringer, a positive change bringer for us as humans, are you. There's a lot of things are all the eyes are now on you, and there's lots of pressure and responsibility, but we trust him. Like I trust in Aquarian energy, and good luck to all. And if you need any support on individual level, please let me know. I'm more than happy to give you a discount if you have Aquarius placements for the reading. Okay, it's going to be huge. Okay, and the last one is Pisces. Let's see. Let's see what is happening with Pisces. Where's Jupiter? Is here, and Neptune. Neptune just went into Aries. So, dear Pisces, you have been through a lot in the last 3 years with Neptune and Saturn dancing in dancing and moving you around. The shift is now huge, and you feel it. You feel it. So I think there's a sense of letting the burden, letting go, and the burden falling from your shoulders. And I think there are some beautiful things happening, and all these eclipses happen in the last year and a half. You had eclipses, you had Neptune and Saturn there. It was a lot. It was really, really a lot. So I think it's time for you to kind of step back and reflect. And this is the eclipse in the 12th house. Excuse me, and reflect back on what really happened in the last 2 3 years. What did you learn? What changed? This is more. This change is. Hi, Kathy. Oh, nice to see you. Oh, it's so lovely to see some old faces, even though I don't see faces. Yeah. So it is time to kind of this eclipse. The eclipses in the next year and a half will be on your health axis. So it's if this was hard on you, on your physical body, on your health in like the next 2 3 years, you need to focus on how to get better, and find. You need to turn to the spiritual world to find some strength. Okay, and this is also about radically changing who your spiritual guides are. Who do you consider guru? What are you? Um, are you just are you having this? Are you idolizing somebody, just falling in love with the situation? Maybe you want to subconsciously work on how you perceive the world. This is. I mean, the 12th house is also about losses. There might some things or some people that you need to let go. It's about secret enemies. About some secret enemy can may come up, may reveal themselves. Yeah, especially I'm thinking Uranus is here maybe from school or from the school days, from your neighborhood or siblings. There might be some situation here as well. They might, surprisingly contact you or something might happen. But nevertheless, I think this is a great, this is, as I mentioned, you need to change something drastically. It's a rebellious energy. And maybe you definitely need to change the way you, uh, your environment, your psychological, the way you connect with everybody and you feel everybody and you're overly sensitive. So maybe there's some radical change, how to control this sensitivity, how to work on that to preserve your energy more, finding the new innovative ways of doing that. I think that's very important. To find some spiritual guidance, to lean on something, some energies, um, yeah, and to take care of that part of you, because there was a lot of things happening on your physical body, and I think it's definitely time that you lean on some spiritual to strength, and those are radical changes. I think the biggest change is in your mindset, right? And because you just go with the flow all the time, right? And you need to take control of the flow, and you dictate where the flow is. If that makes sense, that's what I feel for you. Okay, let me pull the card. Let me pull a card for Pisces. Okay, this little weird mushroom. It's called Vertigiris agaric. Impress. Ooh, it's time to impress. You know who? Yourself. It's time to impress yourself with the ability to have healthy boundaries, to take care of your spiritual world, to get rid of being idolizing situations, people, and things. And it's time to impress yourself. I'm going to leave it with that. Yeah, very good. Very good. Yeah, that's it from me. Thank you very much for being with me today. I hope this was useful and helpful. Um, eclipse is tomorrow, as I mentioned, and to summarize, we're going to have the effects for the next 6 months and 27 months. So not everything's going to happen this week, but the seeds are planting, the things are changing. And again, if you need any guidance, please free to contact me. I'm Astrology.com. You can book a consultation. And if you're interested more about Aries point and its importance for the Saturn Neptune conjunction, you can join my lecture next week for ESAR on the 22nd. I'll put all the descriptions below and links so you can check it out. Thank you, everybody, and talk soon. I will have a Mercury retrograde video coming up this week because the Mercury is going retrograde on the 26th. I will have an interesting guest on Friday. We're going to talk about eclipses in general. You'll see there's going to be very interesting stories and solar cycles and why is each eclipse different from the other. Thanks, Kathy. Woo! Thank you so much. I'm sending you all lots of love and wish everybody peace. It's going to be very rebellious energy, so center yourself, find that peace within you, and just be brave and make those changes. Bye, everybody.